Hello, Facebook. We'll try that again. Take two. We hope we're live. Sunday, October 7th. Welcome to the Prickly Pear Show. I am not Ron Furman. This is Ron Furman. I am Ellie Miron. Nice to see you.
Pleasure seeing you.
Pleasure to be seen.
Pleasure.
All the pleasures.
Today is a smile day.
It's a smile. It's National Smile Day.
Yeah, so let's give our best smiles. Wait, teeth?
Well, always a little bit of teeth.
Too much.
It's
too
like
much.
when you were like posing in the school picture, and the guy's is like a little bit up. A little bit.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Well, I do it every year.
Oh yeah. You're a real teacher.
I'm a real.
Right? Not like I am. Very good.
Yeah, and
there we go. Now we're getting people watching.
It is. People are here. So we had a little technical difficulties. We're sorry. We were doing a little test run. You like the revamped new look that
I think people will still complain.
I think it's good though.
Yeah, I think you can't see everything.
Yeah, I pointed that out to you.
I know you did. For some reason, it looked different on the computer.
It does. Always the computer. The computer adds 10 pounds or something, or it looks 10 colors, 10 hues of color.
I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, I like it, you like it, that's all that matters. And if you guys like it, you let us know by pressing the little thumbs up. Give us a like, give us a share. That's for somebody out there. They know who they are.
Hope it's your wife.
No.
No? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And
good. You're gonna get it. Thanksgiving.
It's Erev Thanksgiving.
Erev
Thanksgiving. Chag Sameach for anyone who's
By the way, do the Christians have the same thing where they start in the evening also? Or is it two separate days?
I will check with my 4 Christian friends and get back to you.
You
I don't know.
You only have 4 Christian friends?
I have more than 4.
Yeah, like 5?
7 at
8.
Least.
Nice.
Easy 7.
Okay.
Easy 7.
No, I don't know if they have an Eve because I know they have
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
There you go.
They have that. Yes.
Well, they usually tend to have like Thanksgiving dinner.
But they don't actually celebrate during Christmas Eve. Like they don't do anything. Like
the presents and everything.
No, the presents is in the morning.
They go to church. They go to the mass, midnight mass.
That's at midnight, and it's only a specific type of people that do it. It's not everybody that does it.
I just know my own.
Okay, all right. I was just gonna say, like,
they can celebrate.
I wonder why they don't follow the same thing. Considering Jesus was Jewish and
it's all good. Listen, it is Sunday, October the 7th. We are excited to have you. We've got a great show for you tonight.
I'm hoping it's going to be a good show. We have good topics.
Better than average.
Well, it's always better than average.
Well,
I think we kind of reach a plateau. This is it. This is as long as we're like above this, we're good. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving.
It is.
We want to wish everybody an amazing Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and
what are you thankful for, by the way?
I'm thankful to be here with you.
Suck up. Well, we're thankful to have you guys.
I'm thankful for the audience.
There you go. The audience, the fans. All 4 of them. Well, it's Thanksgiving. See, we always have an excuse. Well, it's Thanksgiving. Well, it's Sunday. Well, it's just...
Don't be too
negative.
Too negative. Don't get down, Charlie Brown.
I would not be Ron Furman if I wasn't negative.
You're so sweet.
You're such an optimist prime.
Optimist prime. Mm-hmm. Listen, it's you know what, you need to be a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually. I've been getting a lot of comments about your demeanor online, and everybody likes you a lot more than me. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it that way. Because I'm like, he kind of, I always have to pitch. I'm like, he has to be PC. He's more of a teacher that can get in trouble. I have to be more. And I'm like, no, I actually hold myself back from saying really weird things. So
well, don't start now.
No, well, it depends on the subject matter.
Yeah,
we do have some doozies.
We do have some doozies, but we have a challenge, right?
We wanted to start off with a challenge.
Yeah. So this is for you, for us, for all of us.
This is kind of because of you, because you were talking about Oktoberfest, or how do you say it?
Oktoberfest.
Fest?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you've been there. You said
I was.
You were there, right?
I was in the Oompa Loompa land.
Okay, so you were in Germany.
Yeah, jawohl.
And you were there during October.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us briefly about the experience?
It wasn't actually. No, I wasn't there in October. I was in Europe in October.
Okay.
But I wasn't in Germany for October. I went to Germany later. But I was in a proper Brauhaus.
Okay.
Hofbrauhaus. Mm-hmm. That's the place where,
Do you have to drink beer? Like, do they look at you weird if you don't drink beer?
Yeah.
How many wine drinkers do they have during Oktoberfest? None? None? So that's not the proper time to go?
It's not a thing. So, but, that tradition is that people have a beer and a lot of beer and they have...
Something happened.
I don't know. We're live here.
Okay.
I don't think you hit the button. Just do check it. We're just watching it on the screen behind us. It's all good. So, anyway, you drink, you have a drink and you... And they have the beer steins, and their steins have these lids, right? So they can open and close.
Yeah.
So the deal is, if you're thirsty, lid is open. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to ask. They just come around and they're pouring all the time. The waitresses are coming around. They're circulating the beer.
But what is the price? Like, how do you pay? Do you pay like a one-time fee? Reminds me of like the Brazilian restaurant where you have
like
green and red.
Oh yeah, those are good.
You miss it?
I do.
How's the diet going?
It's going.
It's going?
I to be honest, true story. My scale at home, the battery died. 2
So you don't
days
know
ago.
what you actually
So
weigh.
I don't know what I currently weigh.
But how are you doing? Like the last 2 weeks?
I think I could be doing better.
Okay.
You are doing good. I don't
I'm
know if you want
trying.
to stand up and show them the he's svelte. Is what he's,
I'm
he's
trying.
down. Svelte is the right. That means we came down. No?
I have no idea. I have
the
no
Yiddish.
idea.
I think it means come down.
Why would you think I know Yiddish? I don't.
No.
I know Schwitz because I do that all the time.
You know relativ Yiddish?
No, nein verstehst du Yiddish. Yes, okay, I lied. I do know a little
Pretty
bit.
good for someone.
Thank you.
So look, we're gonna start a little. We thought in honor of we're on the diet, so to speak, and we didn't want to have
Well, I don't drink alcohol to begin with.
Yeah. No, this was.
So I wasn't going to drink beer.
But we thought, what kind of challenge could we do? And it is kind of in the spirit of Oktoberfest. We'd like to have a little bit of a sippy sip. So we thought we'll do a little water. But secretly, one of these is not water. Nah,
It's yours.
Just kidding.
It's yours.
Is it? I just have stinky.
Okay, so what do? We have to chug this one down?
So we gotta just can you chug it? First one to finish it. Try not to spill it. You know I'm gonna move the keyboard.
I know you're going to spill it for sure.
I'm not gonna
look
spill
at this
it.
thing. Okay.
No. I think
So is there like a special toast that people do? Because I watched the Man Show.
Yeah.
Remember that show when they have daga 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 daga, and I don't even know what they say. I don't remember it because
I don't have one. Can I just? I want to shout out. I just looked online. Oren Belilti, shout out to you, buddy. I haven't not seen or heard from you in a long
I was
time.
in Los Angeles with this gentleman.
And
I went to celebrate his daughter's. I think he had even another baby.
I don't know.
Oren,
how many kids do you have? What's going on?
Yeah, I think
let
he's
us know,
about
but
16.
I haven't seen you.
About 16.
Are you still out in Malibu? That's my question.
No, he's not in Malibu.
Oh.
But then again, I did go to visit him in the valley somewhere, so it was pretty nice. I had a great time.
Anyway, we're gonna do this chug. We'll say.
So we have to finish this.
Yeah,
like
finish the first one to finish is the first one to finish. And try not to spill it. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right.
And here's to your diet.
I couldn't keep it in.
Yeah. And I mildly wet myself.
Yeah. Well, I lost this one. I wonder if we would have done beer, I would have lost the same thing. Yes.
Yeah. Are you okay there?
This
you
is
need
the first
clean up on aisle 6?
This is the first challenge you've won. How does that? How do you feel?
I feel. What do you mean at first? Well,
what else did you finish? What? Yes. And I still have a little bit left. I just couldn't. I couldn't keep it in. I was trying. You know what's funny? I was like, I could chug this down up.
yeah, but
I'm just gonna let it go.
No, man.
You did this for your son, didn't you?
I wanted to win.
Oh wait, that's the motivation you told me. Your son's gonna be watching.
Yeah, my son is watching.
All
Oren's
right.
got 4 kids, buddy. I'm right behind you with 3, but I think we're stopping the train there. I don't know.
You should stop the train.
Stop the train
because
enough,
you
right?
complain about the money all the time. It's so.
I don't complain about the money all the time. I complain about the lack of sleep all the time.
Sure. We'll
always
pretend.
tired.
We'll pretend.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a great show for you.
It is great. It's wet on this side.
Yeah,
Thank God.
well-
Thank God I moved the keyboard because that could have been me.
Yes, and it's my keyboard, so I'm kind of happy that I didn't touch it. It's great.
Just get you a napkin.
You should, but it's okay. It's just water. It's not going to stain. It's not going to leave a stain. It's going to be all right. Let's move on. So,
Excuse me. That was funny.
So since it's Thanksgiving,
Yeah, and we have our little roster on that side. That side, I think it's over.
right? It is on my
Yeah,
side.
it's on your side. Let's get into it. We've got the topics. If you have any questions or any comments, you can always, of course, leave them for us. We are tracking the show live. We will get to you as best as we can.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start it off with you've got it as Column Busted Day
That's right.
versus, or sort of in accordance with Thanks Taking.
Yeah,
In other words, today our friends in the States are celebrating Columbus Day.
that's correct.
And we Canadians here are doing Thanksgiving. They'll have their Thanksgiving in November.
And the reason I'd like to bring that up as a
Yeah.
topic is because every time Thanksgiving comes around or Columbus Day, there's always these bunch of weirdos that come out and condemn Columbus, for what
Right.
he was doing to the Native Americans. Now, of
What?
course, this was a part of history. It's understandable. We did come here. We did slaughter people. but we're not necessarily celebrating the slaughter of Native Americans. The same thing with Thanksgiving. They're talking about them coming together with the Native Canadians and sharing food, but that was after they were slaughtering Native Canadians. Correct?
Well, yeah. I mean,
give me the story. Is this not the story? Okay. In a way,
I think it's a little different.
Okay.
Because you're also looking at two different time periods, right? Your history lesson with Uncle Ellie. Columbus.
Is that what the students call you, Uncle Ellie?
No one's that's for our fans.
That's for your fans, Uncle?
No, listen, it's...
I'll finish it.
Yeah, you should. I did it in one shot.
Winner. You don't need to press that. Just go, Mr. History Lesson.
So here, the short version is that Columbus, that happened obviously in the late, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at...
Same time the Jews were exiled from Spain.
Yeah, right. Some of them, I think, came on the ship with them. So anyway, but so we're looking at 1500s, essentially, the conquering of South America into... what is today southern United States, right? Along Central America and South America and into the upper regions. So
correct.
That's a different settling of when you had the Quakers and what have you from England coming over to the north side about 1600s into the 1700s and settling down into the first colonies and then moving up into Canada. So the Canadian Thanksgiving also happens differently because of our harvest season and our climate, right? We have to harvest things a little...
Yes, I am falling asleep.
Yeah,
continue,
but
continue.
I'm just letting you know what's happening. So there's two different things. So Columbus Day, they're celebrating it, just the fact that, the myth that he discovered America, and he didn't even do that properly. So, but he did come over, and he was a ruthless barbarian, and he slaughtered and killed a lot of people. They just kind of left that part out of the history books because it doesn't make for good history. Right?
I don't think they left it out of the history books.
100%
But it's more about conquering and coming to America, coming to another land. I think that's really what it comes down to.
No,
it's not necessarily
no one conquers peacefully.
But we talked about John A. Macdonald, for example, last week.
Right.
Where it's the first prime minister, and again, he wasn't the best of prime ministers, and yet we're celebrating that type of history. So why can't we get beyond now? It's kind of weird to get beyond death, of course.
Right.
But in terms of the time, this is what happened back then. I mean, what did they expect to come in here and the Native Canadians or Americans would be
right? But
hey, welcome, come on in.
But we want to honor the reality of what happened, right?
Yeah,
so we're in this process now of truth and reconciliation with the way Canadians have treated the First Nations peoples historically. Residential schools, the taking of the lands, the breaking of treaties, the horrific crimes, all that stuff.
Right.
Why not shed the light on the realities of the founding? The alleged founding of America by Columbus.
There are people that are boycotting Columbus Day, people that are going out, and it's just
right.
I don't know. I have this feeling. I get the idea behind it. I just feel like it's kind of weird. I feel it's kind of weird because rather than looking at it from a perspective, for example, even for Thanksgiving, it's here's an opportunity for us to gather, be with our families. We're right away looking into how do we treat the Native Canadians?
Why is it weird? There's a group of people that have been okay. I'll throw this back at you,
right?
Not to overly politicize the political show that's happening right now, but in Israel,
okay.
The founding of 1948, May 14th, Independence Day, Yom HaAtzmaut, it's a celebration.
Okay.
And for the Palestinians, it's the Nakba Day, the tragedy, right?
Right.
They celebrate it just as solemnly and significantly. They commemorate it for our opinion, all the wrong reasons, right?
Okay.
So I'm just trying to take that logic and then transfer it over to suggest that maybe that's what people who are protesting and boycotting Columbus and saying that it's a myth and from their perspective of
I don't think it's the same thing, but I get your point.
That's not they're not equivalent.
I just feel like today we're trying to find the bad in almost everything. You can't celebrate anything today.
Right.
So pick any day that you want, like Martin Luther King Day, right?
Right. Terrible day.
No.
Right?
Amazing day. I don't know why. I don't know why we as Canadians are not celebrating it, for example, right?
Well,
but some people are they're talking about the oppression against Black people, and we should commemorate.
Yeah.
February is a Black History Month, which I think is wonderful.
The shortest month of the year.
I think we should celebrate more holidays. We should celebrate more people. But everybody's flawed. I was talking a long time ago with a friend of mine. we definitely disagree when it comes to our opinions. And we talked about Gandhi. And, Gandhi did amazing things for his people. But,
Right.
I was saying, well, Gandhi used to beat his wife. And it's like, what? Like, yeah, so should we take everything away from him because he used to beat his wife? And he wrote in his memoirs. He has a story where he used to beat his wife. So are we not supposed to look at Gandhi as this, like, amazing person because he beat his wife? Now, no one is questioning whether him beating his wife was a bad thing. That's a given. But there's so much more than just that little aspect. And I feel like we're getting to a point where, in my opinion, if this thing became a big deal in the next 100 years, Gandhi's going to be a criminal, and that's how he's going to be looked at.
Listen,
so I feel like that's really my problem.
Yeah,
it's not,
well, there is this,
looking at it from.
There is this sort of turning of the tide of these alleged heroes, right?
Right.
Like and digging deep, but maybe that's partly their responsibilities to know who we're celebrating and emulating, for better or worse.
Okay,
right?
so even in our own history, right? When we walked into Israel, we're not talking about Israel 1948.
Right.
We're talking about Canaan, back, during Moses' days, right? And Joshua walked into Canaan, and the Canaanese people were there. Not the Palestinians, the Canaanese. And they had to fight them. They had to, what? What am I saying? I'm giving a history lesson. Yeah. They walked in there, and they had to murder the people. By the way, the red string that we have...
Yeah, the Kabbalah string?
It's not... The Kabbalah string is today, but really, the people that... the people they were working with, because they had like sort of allies within Canaan, they made them wear red so they would know that not to fight battle with them. They're on the good side, and that's really what it comes down to.
It's a code word.
It's a code word. Same thing happened during Passover with the red over the door,
blood marking on the door.
That's right.
Okay, cool. Listen, so
I love how my history lessons all of a sudden is like.
No, I'm just looking an eye on the clock. That's
okay.
all. I'm just trying to keep it going here.
Okay.
But let's talk about the second part of it. Is the thanks taking, right? Are we actually giving thanks? Are we really thankful as we maybe could or should be? And whether we're Americans or Canadians or whoever we are we? I think, are we really doing our part to be thankful?
No, I don't think so.
Or we just having a turkey
don't,
chicken dinner and get out of here?
I think that it's more about the taking. I don't think that that we're doing enough. There's so much more that we can do, and we don't understand how amazing life here is in Canada and the United States. Like, it's just, we have everything, an abundance of everything, and I think that we should turn Thanksgiving into a day where we really help the poor or do something significant, as opposed to us having a regular dinner with our family and being appreciative. I think we need to go out of our comfort zone and maybe host those that don't have the opportunity to eat good food every day. I think it needs to be.
Why can't I?
No one's saying you can't. No one's saying you can't.
Why
you can do whatever you want. You don't even have to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah. Which brings me to another point.
Yeah, I never really did.
Thanksgiving, because we're Jewish, I think living in Canada, and it's funny, Seth Rogen had something like that a long time ago. We talked about Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is not really celebrated by the Jewish people. It's not one of those, like, turkey dinners. It's not, unless you're really, really Canadian.
Do American celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah. When I was in the States, Thanksgiving was like, it was like one of the main holidays.
Tell us, American Jews.
No, I could tell you. Everywhere I've been in the United States, Thanksgiving was like clearly November, not the October one, was celebrated to a point where, like, the turkey dinner, and they would go to people's houses and they would watch football.
Really?
Yeah. Even those that never watch football would watch football. Yeah, because I think the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions always play during that time period. It's the only time that they shine.
Right.
Anyways, just one of those things. Just.
But so you're saying we should go out there and make nice with people?
I think so. I think then it will be Thanksgiving. I think by being appreciative of what we have, we should make that day about other people.
But shouldn't we be appreciative every day?
Yes, of course. But that's like saying Valentine's Day. Should you not love your wife every day? Of course you should.
That's the one day you don't forget.
But that's the one day where, you get to make Hallmark a lot of money. And, buy flowers, really expensive, overpriced flowers.
So do you think maybe then, because there's no monetization behind being thankful, then that there's no commemoration?
I think that there needs to be.
In other words, because we can't capitalize on the giving, that there's no point in doing it, do you think?
I don't know.
On the premise of, you said, well, we make Hallmark a lot of money that one day, right?
Yeah.
So there's no tradition where we buy cards and give people greeting cards on Thanksgiving or something.
No, but there should be like a time where, as I said, like, it should be like a volunteer day. It should be like Monday volunteer day during Thanksgiving.
But that's like a voluntold day.
Well, it's not told. You're not also told to buy. Well, you're not told to buy a Hallmark card for your wife.
No, but you're just telling me I have to go out and volunteer.
Yeah, we can turn it
that-
around,
so
and
that's
then it will be
voluntold.
told again. Even if you're told, that doesn't mean you have to do. All right, but I'm saying like if you have something like that day becomes a little bit more than just sitting around having a really expensive dinner. You do something with it. Like I treat the Jewish holidays as a time to bring in people who I don't know to our house and enjoy a lovely meal and to do something Jewish. And I feel the same way about these types of holidays, that we should be doing a lot more. I don't know. I'm very much about, if you're going to do something, do it all out.
Well, why don't we ask our audience? What do you guys think? Do you think he's right? Do you think we should take advantage of these opportunities and share and give back?
Some people do.
Enough?
A lot of people do, like go to soup kitchen, they volunteer during what's it called, Thanksgiving, but it's mostly the American ones. The Canadian ones, I don't know, I don't notice that much because, as I said, I don't really celebrate it. For me, it was just another day.
I think we do things. I think maybe we're a little more subtle on it. We're not as like, look at me, I'm volunteering. Look at me.
No,
I'm
but
doing
it
all
shouldn't
this
be
good,
about
right?
look at me. I didn't.
But you're saying
what do
it
I
in
have
the way
to?
it is.
No. I don't have to gain anything from this. That's the point. It's just a day where we're thankful for what we have, and then we give back.
All right.
And we help those that are less fortunate. But that's just mine. All right. Next thing.
Next.
All right.
Next.
Sorry.
Wherefore art thou?
So what do we have?
Wherefore art thou, sex offender?
Ooh, you want to tell us a little bit about this story?
Not particularly, but I will,
Okay.
because you asked so nicely. So the deal is that apparently Canada, at least in Canada, where an article, and the States in general, this was also, I think this is a CNN-based article. I'm just going to pop it up here. The link is loading, just so I get the exact number right. But
right, they lost the list of sex
of
offenders.
1,200. 1,200.
Sex offenders.
All just vanished. Gone. Don't know where they are.
No,
Don't
they
know.
lost all the records.
Yeah, the
for
records.
these sex offenders.
Right, meaning they can't track them, they can't
So
find them.
they have no idea.
These are people that have been released back into society that are supposed to be monitored and kept an eye on, and people should know where they are at all times for public safety. And
How do you lose that type of record? How do you only have like this one piece of paper that says these are the people?
Well, are you really surprised?
Well, yes, I am. I'm actually very surprised that like they wouldn't have a record of the people that they let loose who are sex offenders.
Right.
I mean, if they were terrorists.
So
I
according
guarantee
to the number, this is specifically from the state of Missouri. Missouri. The show me state, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Ironically, I think Missouri is the show me state.
I have no idea.
Show me where these people are, Missouri. They have a list of 16,000 registered sex offenders. 8% are unaccounted for.
Isn't it scary though? I mean, just the idea that there's
including 800 of the most dangerous. These are people who are convicted of rape, sodomy, child molestation, whether it's the first or second degree. Now that is frightening.
Want to move to Missouri? Let's raise our family in Missouri.
No,
No, but
that's crazy.
It's insane that this is not like big news.
Oh, because
that people
it's-
are not talking about this. Like we're talking about sex offenders. Like
right.
usually
I
it
think
deals
people
with
don't-
kids.
yeah,
it's
I think it's interesting because we make a big deal, obviously, of like, oh, we should like Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
They know where he is,
yeah.
right? They're all
Now wait.
on that.
So what does it take to be a sex offender? Like
I think the reality is you're convicted of some crime against a victim, obviously involving some kind of sexual crime.
Right.
It could have been a harassment. It could have been a molestation. God forbid, a rape or something more serious than that. And you are considered a threat or a danger to the society. In other words, there's a likelihood that you would repeat offend. So you have to go on to a registry, as far as I remember, and they track you or not. They just don't know where the
that
list.
sucks. Like to be on that list.
Listen,
oh my
you know what?
goodness.
I mean, it's strange that we don't have backups of information. That we don't have a interstate or interprovincial registry database that can be closely monitored and regulated, and just the fact that we just. But I think at the same time, like the system, not to defend these people, but I think they're the resources that a lot of these agencies have are small or non-existent.
Resources to keep a
Finances.
file.
Yeah.
To keep a file of people.
This
People's
is not
names
like
where they live.
this is not like you got your office here. Let me go through your tax record. Oh, here you are. You know.
What do you mean? It's like on the cloud. Like they have it saved
like
somewhere.
cloud.
No, but like I mean, how do you lose a file with like the sex offenders on it. It just doesn't make any sense.
So what do you want? Alexa, show me the.
I'm just saying.
Hey Siri, where's
yeah,
the...
but it's like a record. Yeah, these are these are criminals.
Cancel.
These are criminals. Like these are actual criminals. So how do you lose like their information? For me, it's like insane that again.
Dude, you know how many things have been lost in this world? How many people they've lost nuclear weapons?
All right.
Like
we shouldn't make a big deal out of this.
We should, but like, what do you? Like,
we shouldn't be talking about the fact that the state of Missouri lost 1,500 or 1,800, 1,200. Sorry, I went higher. 1,200 sex offenders.
It's extremely serious, but I'm not surprised. I'm just not. Like these are inevitable things. You talk about people also transferring over to from paper to digital or digital to paper, a backup of this, or there's all these realities of things that could just go haywire because people don't care.
I think it's a big problem. I think it's being very irresponsible.
I agree. But they're all interested in Kardashian's butt or whatever, or whether Kanye says some speech or doesn't say some speech.
He wore the hat to the last speech.
I saw.
Yeah. He did it. Just.
But I'm saying that's what they care about. That doesn't make any. These people are.
See, we started off the show by saying Ron, you need to be more optimistic in a way, and I don't know. Like, how could you be optimistic with things like this? It makes you furious just to know that people are so stupid.
Jail, that's pretty good.
Cosby's in jail. That's the one person.
81-year-old and blind, and he's appealing.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. So this is yours. Please, you can have the stage.
So, it's reforming. Liberal labor reform is a mouthful of it. So,
well, I was trying to be somewhat.
So look, the short version is that our current Ontario provincial government, Doug Ford, which one is he? Ford.
He's Doug.
Dave Ford.
Who cares?
Buddy Ford.
Remember Dave? That Dave song.
I'm Dave in Canadian.
Oh yeah, I love that song. But you know the song, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
What a great show.
Yeah, great show. Should have those guys on the show.
We love to have Bruce McDonald, all those people. Mm-hmm.
Anyone.
Okay.
Even you, Foley.
I love Foley.
He's amazing.
Foley's great.
Yeah. Because he's Dave.
I met Dave Foley.
Can I get on with it, though?
You may.
All right. So Doug Ford has announced that basically what's going to happen, I've got it here, that first of all, the Liberal government had, in Ontario, for those of you who don't know, don't care, don't remember, has instituted a $15 minimum wage and a whole series of labor reforms that they wanted to try and make people shorten the income gap and so forth. And the Conservative government has said, yeah, we're gonna cut that. And apparently, 2 paid sick days are too much. So, for instance, the Liberal government had increased sick day benefits and paid vacations, and they were going to raise the minimum wage from $14 to $15 an hour on January 1st. Doug Ford says, adios. That's gone. That's outie. Forget about it. Not interested in having you live a decent life.
So I love how you phrase that. Not interested in you having a decent life.
I don't think he is. And I'm blue, but I don't think he is.
Look. Talking about that subject, all right?
Yeah.
So there's certain things I can agree with, certain things I don't agree with. I was not for the $15 an hour minimum wage. And the reason for that, if you run a business, it's hard for you to be able to afford people. And then you start to get, people getting cash under the table. You're not hiring Canadians. Like the workforce also suffers because of it, because they're hiring less people. They're doing more work, and I don't think it's good for business. Also, like I work for a company right now where they pay for work $15 an hour. And like for a real job, not like it's not a minimum wage. Like they pay for the real work $15 an hour. Right. What I mean by minimum wage is like for a job.
I want to know what you mean by a real job.
Well, meaning like if you look, we've all had the jobs where you flip a burger, or I was a shoe salesman for a long time. These are not jobs. We're talking about a job where you have to kind of go to school and you have a lot more responsibilities than knowing whether you have a size 12 or a size 11 shoe.
Send your letters to.
No, it's not. A job is like something where you went to school for, something that you need an education.
That's a career. That's a
but that's not a profession. It's not necessarily a career. There are people who are.
That's a profession.
There are people who so you're telling me that
I don't need to go to burger school to flip a burger. I need to learn. I need to have hard work. I need to have
but like I'll give an example.
Right?
Like
I need to go to medical school to learn how to be a doctor. There's a difference. I agree.
Okay, so an example like a teacher's assistant, right?
Okay.
A teacher's assistant.
Are you talking about the DECs?
We're talking about like even at a kindergarten. Okay, so like a teacher's assistant is making somewhere like about $15 an hour.
Right.
Right. She's responsible for about 15 to 20 kids.
She should make like triple.
Right, so she should make $15 an hour.
Right.
But the people can't afford to pay a teacher's assistant and the teacher all that money. So it's not. They're two different jobs as opposed to working at McDonald's.
You picked an industry that's a little interesting off the top of the bat because private schools, daycares, with what you were referencing, kindergartens, those private institutions.
Yeah.
You pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
I pay a lot of money to send my kid to.
And you know how much they get paid? Almost nothing.
Where does it go that you're talking about? Now you're talking about different expenses.
I don't know.
So hold on. But break it down. Listen.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but break it down. They feed these kids 2 to 3 meals depending where they're at in the day.
Right.
There's overhead on that. You gotta have the storage. You gotta have the electricity. You gotta have the water. You
gotta
gotta
have insurance.
So there's a lot of expenditures to running a facility. There's a lot of expenditures to running a business. I have no disagreements about that whatsoever. I just don't see why we can't run a business and pay people a decent minimum. We want to. The concept of the minimum wage is designed to have a positive impact on our society, so that people will know. Wait a second. Let me finish this. They're supposed to be able to have a threshold that, at the very least, as the concept is itself, minimum wage, the minimum that I can live and survive on. Maybe, okay, I'm not going to drive a Bentley and I'm not going to have a house in a cottage in Muskoka or whatever, but I'll be able to afford my place. I can afford my bills. I can afford some food.
So in theory,
that's the theory behind it.
In theory,
yeah,
it's amazing. In theory, and I understand it.
But in principle,
and I worked for minimum wage. I worked when it was like $7 per hour.
Right, and you need to be able.
But it's not like salaries have gone up. Salaries have remained the same.
So
you have somebody, I'll tell you. So you have like somebody, even myself, 10 years ago, I worked for a nonprofit organization.
Right.
And I was making somewhere under $40,000 a year. Okay. Living in Los Angeles.
Right.
I mean, it was a job. I was busy all the time. It wasn't like flipping burger where I forget about it. I would take the work home. It was a very, very intense job. It's not like they're raising the prices there. It still remains $40,000, and it's been like that for 10 years.
Well, but
and here you have the minimum wage, and they're almost making the same thing. Doing what? Why would I work so hard for this nonprofit organization where I can just go and flip a burger?
Because you believe in what they do.
Stop believing. At the end of the day, if I believe I can't pay the bills...
If you're in it for the money, son, you're in the wrong industry.
No, but it's not about...
Go get a basketball and learn how to play.
It's not about like believing in it. It's more... It's a different type of job.
So should there not be a minimum wage?
There needs to be a minimum wage. There needs to be a minimum wage, but I just personally think...
Well, what is the number?
The minute you're bringing up to $15, I'm fine with them bringing up to $15. But that means all other jobs, all other careers, there needs to be a boost.
It's not...
And I think that's...
But you're not comparing the same thing.
There should be.
No, because
Why?
there's a job that requires a professional... degree, there's extended learning and knowledge, and you have to actively, like, the demands of certain professions in our society far outweigh and exceed the demands of others, like these labor jobs that you're kind of just dismissing. But we all rely on everyone to do their part. So in other words, when you go to the fast food joint, you want your fast food cooked properly, packaged properly, and safely and on time, and you want it to taste good, and you want all these things that you're expecting, right? When they screw up your order, you're upset or whatever. Now they've not performed up to their task, up to their level.
So now I'm going to give them an extra $1. So now they're going to perform to their task.
Perhaps no.
You think that will be the motivator?
But that's not
that extra $1.
For some, it is the extra. It is the motivator, but the concept.
You know what's funny though behind it though.
So what the doctor? So the doctor who screws up your surgery and cuts the wrong leg off and whatever, he should get a deduction too. He should get a raise. We should give him more money so that he could actually pay attention when he's doing the surgery and doesn't mess it up. Or the lawyer that didn't try your case properly. You know what? If we give him an extra percentage equivalence of boost of living, he'll perform better. It's not always about performance incentive.
I don't think it's just about money.
But
for people
the
to
minimum
really be
wage
good.
is about maintaining an affordability to live and
No,
and survive.
I understand, but there are people,
And that should be as high
there are
as
people
possible.
who go to school,
Right.
learn
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and are not able to get anything close.
But that's
to it.
not because it's $15 or $14 an hour. I'm sorry to tell you.
No,
that's
but what
not
I'm
how
saying
the
is
economics work.
but here's the thing. So what would motivate me? So I think it was about 4 years ago. I was supposed to
Right.
work for a woman's nonprofit organization,
Okay,
and they were
that's
offering
ironic.
me $20 per hour.
Wow.
Yeah. $20 for a job, like you're talking about,
Okay.
like raising funds.
And today, that's nothing.
It's nothing. But this is what 3 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, so I guarantee you that job still exists probably right now at about $21 per
Okay.
hour. So they should be raising that, and I think it needs
But again,
it needs to move in that direction.
Yeah, but you want people to move in that direction. There's also the other thing called the bottom line. If I'm in a business to make money, I'm trying to make the money. I'm trying to feed my family. I'm trying to feed your family. So that's the problem behind capitalism as well, right? I'm not advocating for socialism. I know I sound like a socialist right now, but I'm not. I am an advocate for business. I'm just realizing.
But
the
you
other
notice that
component
a
of the
lot of
article.
people got rid of workers, right? Like there are not that many
and I
options
think,
anymore.
But I think they did that because it's BS. They were protecting their own bottom line, and I get that. But I think, like, you hear these stories about these companies where they do this like work share, they do this profit sharing, and these like I don't know, WestJet. I remember like all the people who worked for WestJet were owners.
Yeah.
So there was this motivation, there was incentive.
Right.
Okay. That didn't exactly work out for them now, right? They're suffering services. There are strikes. They've been unionized. Like it fell on its head. Okay. In theory, it's great. There's some I remember.
So I'm saying a lot of things in theory are great. But
Yes,
they are
but the
hurting
minimum wage. Okay, if we did away with the minimum wage, do you really think it would encourage people to hire more people? I think it would.
I didn't say.
What
Wait.
it would do is.
I didn't say that. I just said that $15 an hour is a lot for minimum wage. That's all I'm saying. And I think.
But look at the cost of living today. Look at what we have,
100%.
and that's the other thing. People want to have. Now that's the other
Yeah.
thing. People want things that maybe they shouldn't have. It's not a requirement, but today, for instance.
Yep.
I'll give you an example. The internet, being connected, is essential to society
Right.
and to work. And so, if I'm going to be connected to the internet, I have to be able to pay for internet.
Right.
To pay for internet,
There's Wi-Fi everywhere now.
Yeah, but
You
not.
can sit at Starbucks. You can
Yeah,
sit
but
anywhere.
it's not always the most efficient.
No, it's not. It's not the most efficient, but there's a way to work around it.
But I need to be at work. I need to find work. I need to maintain my status. I need to have things like I'm just giving it as an example. Like things cost money. In order for things to pay for money, I have to make a certain amount to be able to contribute. The theory behind raising the minimum wage is that the concept is that now they're technically earning a little bit more, and hopefully they were making ends meet beforehand. If not, they're helping them out. If they are, then the theory is that they're having a little bit more disposable income, so they can go and buy and spend money in the economy. Right? That's the theory behind the minimum wage. If I can pay you a certain affordable amount, you can become an active, productive member of society and contribute into our economy. That's the concept behind it, economically speaking. Okay? I think that the social component of it has taken over, for better or worse, to make it sound like, oh, well, it's just to maintain a certain lifestyle, a status, but to be able to buy food. Okay? And I think there's something valid for that. And you think you need to have that. And I don't think you can put a price on that. I think
I think they should do.
I think the NBA should strip all the players of their multi-million-dollar salaries and disperse that into society.
Take care of people in a different way.
How?
So, for example, like rather than the $15 per hour, you give them like better insurances, like dental, right? Which is eventually going to cost you. Giving them maybe like a gym membership, like work out some sort of a deal with a gym membership to be able to give it to them for much less. Like these types of incentives, as opposed to that $15 an hour. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like once you bring up to $15 an hour, and the other people still stay at $20 an hour, there's going to be a serious situation in between. There's going to be. Because I'll tell you. So I'll tell you myself. Like last year, I worked for a place that paid me like $15 an hour, for doing something, and now I don't want that $15 an hour. I'm like, no, that's minimum wage. I'm not going to take $15 an hour.
Okay, so now you're talking about a different story. Now you're adding a self-worth to it. You're saying,
absolutely.
listen, I've done. You're saying
absolutely.
I've done. Hold on a second. You're saying now I've done this work for a certain number of time. I have a certain amount of experience that's beneficial. But if you
I came with that experience before I even had that.
Then why'd you take the $15?
Because $15 was not minimum wage. So you're kind of like, well, $15.
14 was minimum wage. 11 was minimum
but like
wage.
not
12.
not long ago. As I said, it was like $7-8. Not that long ago. What was minimum wage before? It wasn't
Bro, it was like
$14.
$11-12 an hour.
11.
Recently.
So you're going from 11 to 15. That's $4. That means if I'm making $15, no. But if I'm making $15 right now, that means I should be making at least $19-20 for that other job.
You're talking about inflationary adjustments.
Because if you're talking about inflation for one job, you have to have inflation for another job.
But again, so do you need inflation for the lawyer who's charging $600 an
maybe
hour?
Not the maybe
he
not,
should charge $700.
Maybe not the lawyer, but maybe the other people that are suffering.
Eric is saying, why should the burden of paying more per employee be on the employer? Where's the government's role? Perhaps lower income tax. But Eric, if we lower income tax, then we don't have, at least in Canada and in Ontario, we don't have the social services that many of these workers come to rely on, i.e. the free healthcare and medical expenses. And
as I said,
right?
if they're bonuses...
If you're not going to collect the taxes, the money's got to come to pay for somewhere. So if we're going to go with Ron's ingenious gym memberships for everybody idea, by the way, how often do we go to the gym?
That's up to you.
New Year's, but that's a waste of money if you're not going to go.
No. So you
I don't want to offer someone a free something and they don't. I'll give you a free Metro Pass, but if you don't decide to take the bus, sorry, not interested. Then it's a waste of money.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't think of this through.
100%.
Well, no. I mean, here we are. We'll bring it up, but I'm saying something along those lines. I didn't come here and go, here's the list of things that I'm planning on doing with my money. No, I'm just letting you know that.
Saying, I think you
other
also
incentives.
you have to also make conscientious choices.
I'll give you an example. Actually, perfect example. You just mentioned it. So these people that are making, most people that are making $15 an hour, most likely cannot afford a car. Right, most likely cannot pay the insurance. They can't pay that. That's really expensive. The gas prices, right? So offering them a bus permit, like a bus pass, that's a great incentive. So yes, you are technically making more. Like I remember I had a job.
How are you technically making more?
Because you just added that dollar, and instead you got a bus pass. And how much is it costing you to take the bus?
What if you're not taking the bus to work? Then I expect you to take the bus to work.
Not everybody.
No. If I'm paying for your free bus pass, I want you to go to work every day.
What?
If I'm subsidizing, don't I get to say how money gets spent?
What do you mean? But you work the hours that you work.
No, I want you to.
But no, you work a 40-hour week like a normal person.
Then you don't take the bus or transit to go party with your friends. You don't move around the city, and it's for. I
don't know. You get 2 tokens a day. All right, but I don't know. But you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
That's a different type of incentive.
Lower the taxes so it equals out, so that the employee is making $15 per hour. If you lower the taxes, you can't afford to maintain the cost of services because there's a burden on the services that is happening out there. You have people get a paper cut and go to the hospital because it's free. They can't afford a doctor or don't want to go, and they want to go to the hospital for the little paper cut. Then they stand in line, then they backlog the system, then they jump it up, and then we're paying for it out of our taxes. I don't think that's lowering the taxes. I want to pay lower taxes.
I'm done with this.
Oh, but our audience is not.
I'm done with this.
I agree. You know what?
I'm done with this.
To be continued. I just think that at the end of the day, people need to live. People need to.
And as I said, in theory, I love it.
We should let people live.
I think it's a great idea. No. I think that everybody needs to have the same opportunity in terms of like at least having a sustainable life.
Fine, but